Fill your day with joy and happiness here on 90.9 FM, Radio Baha'i. Streaming at radiobaha'i.us.
Sending you love, peace, and unity. This is 90.9 FM, Radio Baha'i. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and I have a special guest with me here to talk a little bit about the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival and also her career. She's a Billboard chart topper. She's a NAACP award winner, the jazz musician, Miss Jazmin Ghent. How you doing, Jazmin?
Doing good. My goodness, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. And, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival in just a minute, which you're going to be headlining on Saturday, October 21st. But let's go ahead and get started, talk a little bit about you. The first intriguing thing that I found out was you were actually born in Germany. So how did that come about?
Yeah, this is a little different. My dad was military, so he was in the army. So, but we left when I was like 4. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember much German, but I just look at pictures from that time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's still pretty cool, though. You know that you get opportunity to be born in a different place, but you actually left and you came to Huntsville, Alabama. Are your family like originally from the Alabama area? How did you end up going to Huntsville?
No, my dad ended up getting a job in Huntsville.
Okay.
Security intelligence for the government. So it was, it's like kind of top secret job. But then we didn't have any, aside from immediate family, we didn't have any family in Alabama.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my wife actually originally from Alabama. She's from Montgomery and went to Tuskegee University. So shouts out to Tuskegee out there. Yeah, but I'm very familiar with the Alabama area. And that's where you got your start. I mean, got into like music. You actually started off like a lot of us in the church, playing the piano. So how did you get started with that? Who introduced you to the piano?
My parents got a piano when we were in elementary school. My mom loves music. Dad loves music. They named me after jazz music. So I grew up with hundreds of jazz CDs and R&B. And so that's something that I'm sure that they always wanted us to be in music. Mm-hmm. So, but playing in church was a big, in Alabama, there's so many churches. I mean, as I'm sure your wife can attest. And, my mom just was like, hey, I want you to play in church. So I ended up being the girl playing in Sunday school. The deacon would like pass me $1, and I was like, yeah. So, it was really fun, but I feel like that really trains your ear as a musician.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I grew up in a church. My grandfather was a pastor. He still is, and I grew up in a church. Look, I'm very familiar with that. I wasn't as good as you, but I try Amazing Grace every now and then, on the piano. But but I definitely know how that feels, And I grew up in New Orleans where, jazz and that, type of music is synonymous with the culture. But did somebody introduce you to, to the teaching methods or, like how did you, get involved in trying to teach the piano?
So I was actually teaching. Well, first and foremost, my mom is a teacher. She's taught 40 years. She's retired now, but I would watch her in her classroom and get advice on what things to do, like classroom management, things like that. But she was the biggest inspiration. Yeah. And I love performing. I love teaching. That's a big thing. To have a hand in the future of this world, right. Is a really great task. I don't take lightly. And she's the biggest inspiration. I was drum major in high school. I used to teach a summer camp. All those things really molded me to the educator I am today.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, having somebody, that's educating your family, instilling that inside of you. And also you can kind of just learn from them by some of the practices they've done throughout their life and kind of help to apply it to you. So that's a pretty good advantage having a mother as a teacher. But I mean, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was agreeing.
Oh, but also in middle school, that's when you got introduced to the saxophone which plays a huge role in your career now. So who introduced you to the saxophone, and what got you involved in it? What was the significance of the sax?
Oh my goodness. My mom brought a saxophone and she's like, you're playing this. And I was like, no. And yeah, I didn't have a choice. I come from the household as, if they tell you you're going to do something, you do it. And I'm grateful. I needed that.
Yeah.
Child is different, but I needed that structure.
Yeah.
So she brought home a saxophone and she said, you're playing this now, 6th grade. And then by like 7th grade, she was saying she wants me to play the saxophone in church.
Yeah.
I tried to say no again. And, there the next Sunday,
yeah.
trying to figure out the notes of the choir and, learn my, to the point where I remember even a guitarist, he went up to the drummer and he was like, man, tell her to stop playing my notes. She's playing all my notes that I'm playing. But I think those are those moments, beautiful moments now that mold you and shape you into being a better musician, working with people, training your ear.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also shouts out to your mom, because, a lot of times parents see talent inside of us we don't see in ourselves. And they got to kind of push us to that particular point until we realize, how significant and how special we can actually be by, doing that particular thing. So your mom keeping you involved in the sax and also into music because she's seen something inside of you. And that's pretty, that's pretty cool. Shouts out to mom on that.
Thank you. My mom actually, she has a beautiful voice, but she's very like shy person. Like she would not want to be in front of people speaking, talking, any of that kind of stuff. She does not like that.
Yeah.
But she felt like that held her back from a lot of things. So she like made it a point when we were younger to like push us to do that, to play and perform in front of people and all these things that she quite frankly was trying to avoid. So very grateful that she did that. I realize that more now.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what you learn like once you get older. And like when you're young, you're like, man, you want to do so many different things. But then when you get older, you're like, I really do appreciate my mom. I appreciate my dad for, really pushing me. And that plays a huge role in kids' development. And also, like I said, your development as an artist. But then you go to Florida State University. And, I know that's a little bit of a culture change from Huntsville to Tallahassee, right? So what made you decide to go to Florida State? Was there something, about their music, or it was just the school, or just the fact that it's in Florida? What was the thought behind going to Florida State?
My dad's from Florida, but he's from Central Florida, so it's not like really like close and stuff like that. So I can't say that was a big factor, but I used to go to all kinds of band camps, FAMU's band camp, Florida State. I was looking at Miami, Berkeley College of Music. But actually, Tallahassee reminds me a lot of Huntsville. Huntsville's progressive, but because Tallahassee is northern Florida,
right?
So you still get all the seasons. You still have to wear a coat in the wintertime and all that kind of thing. So it just reminded me of home, of Alabama, and it was that college experience too. And having gone to the jazz camps, like the faculty was very supportive, still today, and support my career and. So that really encouraged me to go to FSU. But when Huntsville, a lot of my classmates were like, what are you doing? And you're the person going away to FSU. So it was different. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been to Tallahassee maybe a couple of times. I mean, it's always been a great place. I was able, to go to Florida State. I can understand why you decided to go. Beautiful campus. And I mean, everything is at your disposal there. I mean, it's a great academic school. I read this also. It says back in 2013, you appeared on Bobby Jones Gospel. And with that, you received a scholarship to go to Tennessee State. How did that come about?
That was, how life sometimes your path is already, if the door opens easily, it was like that. Right. The producer for the Bobby Jones show, first and foremost, the day I graduated from FSU, I had a performance at a jazz club in Tallahassee, and a lady there sings with Bobby Jones, and she invited me to it. Her name is Quincy. really kind lady. She was a classmate's aunt. Like, it happened like that. And she invited me. She sings for Bobby Jones, and she invited me to go on his show.
Right.
And Lo and behold, the producer of the show is a professor. His name's Tommy Davis, is a professor at Tennessee State University. And he told me about the master's program, and it was late to apply to be part of the master's program.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there and I asked the head of the music department if I could. His name's Dr. Elliott, and I asked him if I could apply, and he's like, it's really late, maybe next semester. And I begged, and he agreed to me joining the program, and I ended up being the first to graduate out of my classmates. So I'm grateful that they took a gamble on me with that. And man, I love Nashville. I love Tennessee State, and grateful for people to put me in those places.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And also, like, that's a testament to your resolve too, because so many people could be like, well, they told me next year and maybe I can try next year, but it's just that consistency, like in trying to, pursue something that you wanted to do. And I think he saw that, like by you really trying to press that, because a lot of people, they feel like if a door closed, they're not going to try to knock on it again. So that's a testament to your resolve there. I'm not going to hold it against you. You went to Tennessee State. I went to Jackson State, like, but I mean, both schools, HBCUs, shouts out to both universities. But, there you get your master's degree. And in 2015, you decided to debut your first solo album. What was the thought behind, started your own album, getting that started? Anybody encourage you to do so? Was it the music that you started to get into? What was the motivation?
I went, actually, my mom, as I said, she loves jazz too. And she was on the Smooth Jazz Cruise and invited me to go with her. Yeah. And they have a talent competition. So artists like Boney James, Brian Culbertson, Marcus Miller, these people I grew up listening to were the judges for the competition, which was very nerve-wracking. But I won the competition. And so that was, and I remember Brian Culbertson said to me, he's like, just have fun. No matter, if you have fun, everyone else will have fun. And I keep that premise to this day. If I have a show, I want everyone to have a good time. I think it lets music connect to other people.
All right.
And so that was the leading to, now I'm going to really take a foot out here, record my own music. And also, put it out to radio stations, see how it's received by the people. I'm grateful that it did well. But I was definitely in those studios that, those studios that look like a closet, stuff like it's, that resilience, endurance, everything is not a trip. Intellect is important, but everything, it takes networking. There's just a lot of factors to music that I think people should talk more about.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, everybody has to start somewhere, and honestly, those were little moments that just paved the way for what you're actually doing now. I mean, when, things can get a little tough, or even like when things start to get a whole lot better, you think about where you came from. And like, by recording that, in that particular space, and you can remember it that vividly, it just tells you that you understand the grind and what it took for you to get to this particular point. I mean, so you get your first album out, which is entitled Boss. And you also like have other albums as well. I mean, we played quite a few of your songs here on Radio Baha'i. And, just great music all together. You end up winning the NAACP Image Award for Best Jazz Album. First off, when you found out that you were being nominated, what was going through your mind? I'm like, we just talked about like when you first decided to do your first album. And now I want to say it was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, you get opportunity to be nominated for this award. What was going through your mind when that happened?
I was shocked. I was teaching elementary music at the time. And I'm one of those people, not to get my hopes up, I'll just be like, oh, I won't get that, which is not a good attitude. But I'm always just like that. And so I got a call from Ben Tankard, pianist Ben Tankard, and he said, hey, you've been nominated. I'm at the school. They had an assembly, and so I got really, really excited. So I was happy with just being nominated, and I was on the Dave Koz cruise, and that's when I found out that actually, like, I wasn't able to go to the award ceremony because I was on the cruise. We were in Australia, and that's when I found out I got the award. So needless to say, all of that was unexpected. I didn't think nomination, let alone actually winning the award. I think that, and I know that it's no one but God, because he shows his power and his how he made all these things happen. It is definitely not me, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. God gives us all talents and abilities, and he blesses us with this, and we share it with the world. And we don't know who we impact, but then in that moment, I think you realize like how many people are impacted by your music. And not only that, not just the people that watch the NAACP Image Awards, saw you win, but you get opportunity. Like you said, you were in Australia when this happened. You get to travel all over the world to entertain the masses. I learned something about you. I've seen a couple of your performances. It's almost like you have like this out of body experience, like everything, like it just basically the music just takes over you. How do you get motivated and get into that zone? Because I'm telling you, like I was watching, I'm like, it's like it's almost like you have like an out of body experience. What? How do you get motivated to like perform the way that you do?
Thank you. I would, whatever message I'm trying to convey in the music, I always want the songs to have meaning behind it. So like there's one song I play called Amends, and I really try to zone into like, wow, like forgiveness, letting go of the past, all those things.
Right.
And talk about the zone at, man, being a female in music, and in jazz music specifically, and it's definitely male dominated. There are females out there, but we could always use more. But that whole thing, like, you're pretty good for a girl, or play like a girl, that kind of thing. I remember I played for a festival in California, San Diego, and then this another artist was just really coming with it,
right.
And as a female, like, not only are you really trying to bring your best, but you're also trying to show that no, you're not, it's not just for a girl, you play like this, or you're also trying to show that you represent Black women. Like there's a lot of so I'm not trying to put weight on that, but I really want to emphasize that I do my best. I want to put my best foot forward.
Right.
And it's not playing trying to look cute kind of thing. It's all about really conveying the message of the music, and then also the skills as well, like playing.
Yeah. I can only imagine the weight on your shoulders when you perform. But once again, you do an outstanding job, and like I said, it's just other level. Some artists that you see and you just like they're just into the music, into the mode. That's what I see every time I looked at any of your performances. And if I'm like one of your students, a young lady that is probably getting started, mom probably gave them a saxophone just like you. And I'm checking out Jazmin Ghent. I'm like, yeah, this is what somebody I want to follow. So you definitely are a pioneer, and I'm pretty sure you're inspiring a lot of young ladies to pursue a career in jazz music. And it also starts with your teaching as well. You teach young kids K-5, and how's that experience? Teaching such young impressionable minds, about music. I'm pretty sure you have to think about the times where you were first starting out, right?
There's yes, absolutely. And the people who influenced my playing, and then music educators that I had. So I aspire to be like them. And I taught K-5 for 5 years.
Right.
Entry music, and then I just got my doctorate. So while I was getting my doctorate in music education, I was teaching. Basically everybody. So I taught kids kindergarten through second grade. I taught oh my goodness, college courses.
Wow.
At the University of South Florida. So I'm one of those people. I'm down to teach anything. I love teaching, and I love helping and assisting, but that is a big passion of mine.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: like when you were teaching, how are you able to balance that, being traveling across the country, but also being able to be there for your pupils?
Man, I think hopefully you know something I don't, because I think I'm still trying to balance that. If anything, of like honestly, that's a juggling act. I mean, even many times I've come back in town from the airport and gone straight to the classroom. Have my suitcase in the classroom, things like that. I had a really understanding administration that was very flexible with me being out of town. So I think I'm still figuring that out now, being done with my doctorate, having new music coming out, and then now on the collegiate level, like looking for jobs on the collegiate level. I think it's a whole new phase of juggling.
Yeah, I mean, but that's incredible that you're able to juggle so many different things, and being there for your students, I mean, is a plus. That's going to mean a lot to them, like down the line when they remember those moments. Like I said, you're inspiring people. You probably don't even realize it. Like when they become successful in music and stuff, and they have to balance that, they can be like, well, Ms. Jazmin did it. So I mean that's inspiring. Being able to go to different places and travel all across the country, like how does it feel to do that? How do you get yourself like kind of like energized to hit the stage and perform in front of different crowds from like different parts of the country and different parts of the world?
Well, I'm very grateful to be able to travel and to different places and not pay rent. And some places are expensive, so LA or New York or any of that. So it's a blessing, and you get to see there's a huge world out here, and just to have a glimpse in these different cultures and like learn from other people, and I love it. I love it, and it's definitely a different type of lifestyle, because a lot of times you'll play very late and then you wake up really early, like your flight's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's definitely adjusting with like sleep and stuff.
Right.
Not a complaint. Like it's just a blessing and a unique lifestyle that I love.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people like I know check out your performances. I mean, they always talk about how great it is, and how great the shows are. So I mean, you're doing an outstanding job in traveling and entertaining individuals, and you're going to be coming down our way, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on October 21st to the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival. How did that come about? What are you doing to get prepared to perform in Myrtle Beach?
First and foremost, super excited for the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival. Anthony and Tisha, who spearhead the festival, have just been, I mean, they're just like family to the artists. Like they really look out for artists. They look out for the people who attend, all the jazz fans, everyone. They truly love jazz music as well. So they go beyond just the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival, but it's, I'm super excited. And when we got the call some years ago to play for the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival, the first time I played there, it was so fun. I mean, we had absolute blast. That was my first time in Myrtle Beach, so you can imagine coming back, the excitement I have, and the musicians who we'll be playing with. They are phenomenal. They play amazingly well, and then great to get along with. So there's lots of excitement on this end. And I know it's going to be a great time. It's always just a party, and that's what music should be about, just having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Shouts out to Anthony Davis. I mean, I've had opportunity to interact with him. Great individual, great person. But we're looking forward to seeing you at the Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival. I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, just that particular street, that area alone, and what it means to African Americans during that time. And you have Charlie's Place that is synonymous with Myrtle Beach, especially in African American culture. And, just individuals out there just enjoying jazz music, having a good time. It's a great experience. And we're looking forward to seeing you out there, Jazmin, entertaining us, having that out-of-body experience that we all enjoy watching. and the music, enjoying that as well. But just want to say thank you for taking the time out to talk to us a little bit, about everything that you're doing. I do want to ask you, I know you have a new project coming out. You want to talk a little bit about that, and and is that in the works, and when can we expect that?
So first single is coming out this fall. I'm excited about the new project, and it definitely coincides with my life because right now I've had a lot of changes. I just moved to Canada.
Wow.
With my husband. I just got married 5 months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I just graduated school about a month ago, the doctorate. And so all those things happening at one time, it's definitely going to be about change. And like there's one song called Upgrade,
Right.
which I feel like my life has been upgraded, so I think everyone's going to enjoy this music. I'm enjoying recording it and looking forward to putting it out there.
Yeah, and then we're looking forward to it when it comes out. And we also going to continue to enjoy some of your great music that you have out to, entertain us. Actually, at the end of this interview, we're going to play a little Jazmin Ghent here on 90.9 FM. Thank you so much, for stopping by, talking to us a little bit about your projects. And we look forward to the great music that you have down the road.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be part and looking forward to that as well.
All right. You take care. This is 90.9 FM, Radio Baha'i. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jazmin Ghent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.